How's everybody doing this evening? Great to see everybody coming in already. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it. My man Jared SK's in the building. Great to see everybody, guys. Hope you're doing well. My man Matt Feltner, what's up? Becky Farais, the queen of all sales. I ain't even going to call you the timeshare queen no more, Becky. I'm still going to roll with you, but I'm going to call you the queen of all sales. Dog. Guys, I'm going to brag on my girl real quick. Me and Becky used to kick it when we would have 1 and 3 people in our scopes. Now Becky's hitting that 600, 700, 800 spot. So, man, I'll tell you guys, if you don't believe in the power of the broadcast button, man, we're walking, living, breathing proof. It's just a matter of getting it done. So I really appreciate you guys coming in tonight. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for being here, tapping those hearts. And guys, we are getting ready. You see the green screen behind me. I currently have finally finished and completed the in-home studio. So we're going to start creating our video content. I'm also working on a secondary podcast as we speak as well. So there's a lot of awesome things that is happening. And Becky, absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, guys, what I'm really excited about tonight is, you know, as we get into our third day, right? For some of you guys, you call it hump day. I call it Wednesday, W-I-N-S. And we're really coming through our, biz dev for small business concepts. And tonight I really want to talk about understanding your market. You know, guys, through the course of all these series that we've done so far, we've really kind of taken a journey. And now when you really start thinking about business development and you start thinking about trying to scale your business, there's so many different things that play a major factor in that. And for many of small business owners and entrepreneurs, you're going to run into the same, right, rebuttal, or what I like to call a mirage obstacle, if you will. You guys are going to always say that it's time. I don't really know if how do I find the time to create this process? Well, when you start understanding your market, right, if you really take the time and invest the time in understanding your market value and understanding how your market moves and understanding the intricacies of your marketplace, time's not going to be a problem anymore. Because you're going to be so in tune with the way and the ebb and flows of all these different things that time now is taken off the table, which is what you ultimately want anyway. So I really appreciate each and every one of you guys being here tonight. You see my notes sitting in front of me. And my name is Matt Crane I am Matt Crane across the board on all social media channels. I am your business development architect, and for more than 10 years, I have helped companies, corporations, Fortune 500, small business entrepreneurs, network marketers. I've helped you create the foundation you need in order to build the life and the business that you truly want. You see, when the Power of Great was born, when we truly developed this concept and this idea, it was built knowing that my current situation was not my defining moment. And I made it my mission, my passion, all the failures, all the times that I've fallen flat on my face. I decided that since my current situation wasn't going to define me, I was going to spend the next waking moments from here until eternity ensuring that you not only see that in yourselves, but that we create the foundation that you need in order to build the businesses that you truly want to build. You see, over those 10 years, one of the most consistent things, one of the most consistent themes that I was finding in the business community, the small business world, entrepreneurs, rural communities who truly, their entire tax base is built on the backbone of small businesses and entrepreneurs. The one common theme was, man, their infrastructures were falling apart. They had great concepts. They had great ideas. They had relentless work ethic. They had the traffic, but they didn't have the foundation or the true infrastructure to handle influx of business or to handle all different aspects of customers that might be coming in. Calls, online, e-commerce. And let me tell you something, guys, when you're really looking for a business development specialist, I've said it before and I'll say it now and I'll stand by it. You didn't create your business through binoculars, so why would you want anybody to come and scale your business through binoculars? You better be demanding that whoever shows up on your doorstep to help you develop out your business, that they bring a scope to the table. And you don't even have to worry about that. All you got to do is give me a call, and I'm coming with laser-sighted vision, experience, data, but I'm also bringing to you someone that's done it themselves. So guys, tonight we want to talk about understanding your market. This is volume 3 of our Biz Dev for Small Business series. And I really appreciate each and every one of you guys being here tonight. So we are recording this for our podcast. We're launching a new podcast called the Biz Dev Blueprint. And I'm really excited about that. And hey, we're also creating some video content. So if I don't happen to speak back to your comments, or if I happen to not answer your questions, hey, no disrespect. We got a lot of awesome things happening. I'm showing you guys in real time, not only how you can deliver content, but how you can create multiple flows of content, repurpose that content, and guess what? Deliver that content in not 1, 2, 3, but multitudes of areas. And like my man Frank Salas says, they become evergreen. They become all the time top of mind information. So understanding your market, volume 3. Welcome, Matt Crane at I Am Matt Crane, your business development architect. And we're building the blueprint live on Periscope. So the key component to successful business development, hey, there's a lot of definitions out there. But the key component to successful business development is to really learn your customers, your competitors, and your industry. Now, a lot of you are going to say, well, duh. But hey, do you really know your customers? Are you really paying attention to your competitors? And are you truly understanding your industry? You know, I know a ton of small business owners and entrepreneurs who have unbelievable work ethic. But man, they don't really get to call themselves an industry expert because they can't dictate certain things that are happening in the industry. Guys, when you start getting to a point where you're bringing someone like me in to really start looking at your infrastructure, to really start helping you scale a developmental plan through laser-sighted vision, these are some hard questions I'm going to ask you. And if you truly aren't understanding your industry, if you aren't understanding the movements of your industry, then we got to go back to work before we can start scaling it out. So market research is crucial. Now you're going to hear this from you're going to have different people that have different ways of training, different ways of delivering content, different ways of offering messages. But I will tell you, in my experience, in 10 years of scaling business after business after business, market research is crucial. And basically all market research really is, guys, it's the process of you, right, taking data, analyzing that data, and it's going to help you understand the demand of a certain product or service and how competitive that market is. Now, it's also going to provide you insight on how to reduce business risk. You're going to be able to identify what I call industry turbulence, okay? The most common term is trends, right? But I want to know the industry turbulence, right? I want to know, hey, what product is shaking up the marketplace? What customers are saying that could cause some reciprocating vibrations in the marketplace, right? That turbulence, okay? But then I also want to be able to get very specific on targeted sales opportunities. As I work with businesses on how to scale, what I don't want them to do is take the focus off what's working for them, but now I want them to even get more targeted so the opportunities to scale are driven for matter of fact, not that hope for mentality. Okay? So provides insight, right? Market research provides insight, reduce business risk, identify industry turbulence, and it's really going to target sales opportunities, right? So I'm going to outline really quick for you guys 3 basic steps, all right? 3 steps for basic market research, okay? Number 1, you want to be able to identify, right, the official government sources of market and industry data. For small business owners and entrepreneurs, SBA SBA.gov should be bookmarked, highlighted, and should be a search engine that you use for market research. Okay, it's a Small Business Administration at a national level, and it's got a plethora of information for you, and it's accessible and it's free. SBA.gov. Number two, you need to identify additional sources of analysis, right? So one quick thing that you can do, okay, is I identify what's my largest business, what's the largest company, what's the largest employer in a particular city, county, or community that I'm working in with small businesses, entrepreneurs that are looking to scale. And why do I want to look at that large employer? Because now I want to be able to break down what their hourly wage is, what an average salary is, what type of worker they're employing there. Are they living in the community? Are they commuting? Because there's so many factors that will play into that market research, because now I will need to know, okay, what are they staying here for? Are they shopping here, or are they simply getting paid and then taking that money somewhere else? Guys, that's a big part of the market research for small businesses, especially when they're scaling or they're trying to develop what I call a tentacle of revenue, right? So for small business owners, you know, some people are going to call it a multiple flow. I call it a tentacle, because for small business owners, man, it has to be a tentacle, because, man, everything you do, man, it's so determined on that one main source, right? So a tentacle of income. I want to know this, right? If you have a huge employer, right, that's in your community, okay, and they employ a lot of folks, let's say they employ 80% of the workplace, and then 60% of those workplace, okay, of that workforce commutes to work every single day. Well, let's say you have a clothing line. How are you going to get your scalable product in front of a commuter? You're going to create specific targeted marketing concepts that are targeted to that specific company. You're going to find out what those people wear to work. You're going to find out what their demographic is. You're going to find out what kind of lunch breaks they take. Where do they like to go eat? What drives them? What motivates them, right? That's market research. So the first thing that I tell owners to do when a new business comes into town, or a big employer comes into town, like a manufacturing plant, like a bank, right? Okay, or like some regional restaurant or national restaurant chain, I go straight to the owner, manager, and I'm going to offer specific targeted coupons or days or percentage off for that employee base. Then I'm also going to find out, are they able to leave the premises for lunch? Okay? What's their time for lunch? Do they get an hour, 30 minutes? Is it something that I could also bring products to you? Right? That's market research, guys. It just doesn't have to be the status quo, get online, hunt, have all these data analysis sheets, put all that in place. Hey, that's great. That's part of the process. But I love that organic market research. You know why I love it so much is because now you make it personal. Now, as a business owner, I have stepped outside and I have reached to the largest employer of the community, what creates the tax base ultimately. And now you're creating an opportunity to what? Drive business. That's scalability, guys. Whether you believe it or not, now you're starting to learn how to scale your business. Okay? And then number three, most especially if you're looking to scale at a larger level, you want to understand the international marketplace. Okay? So what will identify official government sources of market and industry data do for you? Number one, it's going to identify economic industries. Number two, it's going to identify employee statistics. Number three, it's going to identify income and earnings. Guys, why is that important? Okay? If I'm selling a $65 dress and the largest employer pays their employees $9 an hour, I could be in trouble. Or I'm going to have to get aggressive with my marketing plan. Case in point, we've got a millennial business owner, Statement Studio. She has a very organic and trendy Soho clothing store, right? There's not a product in there under $45. During the summertime, our college students, we have a college that's right in the middle of our downtown area. It's a beautiful campus. Our college students are gone. And she doesn't miss a beat because she understood her market in a way that she got very specific and very targeted at what I call seasonal marketing. She knew when to market and how to market, and she created what I call revenue events, register ringing events, what I call roundtable events where, hey, I might just be looking, but I'm going to create those events. I'm starting to make it easy for people to come and see what I offer. She started to create a lot of data through that targeted market research, but she understood her economic industry. She got very specific on the statistics of the employees, right? But she understood the income and the earnings, and that's very big, okay? Identifying additional sources of analysis, all that's really going to do is now you're going to look at trade shows and trade groups, business magazines and publications, database service searches, right? I always ask our small business owners, hey, when was the last time you went to a trade show that you didn't get a chance to attend as a vendor and see what all was going on? Create networking opportunities. Start talking about creative partnerships, right? How do you know that there's not a regional brand that makes sense to your marketplace and you guys literally swap, what? You guys literally swap inventory. Hey, I would love to sell your product if I could also offer you mine. You create creative partnerships, business magazines. Guys, there's so many little regional publications that are sitting out there that would love to write articles for you guys, that would love to be able to publish your small business. And guess what they do? Because you went to them, now you become a feature ad. And guys, whether you believe it or not, for small businesses and entrepreneurs, that is huge because now it becomes specific, targeted, repurposed content, which allows you to do what? Now you're starting to drive specific market research that no one in your industry is doing. I will tell you guys right now, network marketers and multi-level marketers, they're lining up on live stream, but the ones that are winning understand how to become featured. They are getting those publications. They are creating relationships with bloggers and newspapers and these very specialized regional publications. You don't believe me? You want to make a dent right now in your marketplace with your network marketing company? Write this down. This is called a golden nugget or a golden coin, right? Go to a housing community, right? That has a public housing authority. Ask this question. Hey guys, do you guys have a newsletter or a publication that you send out to everyone in the community on upcoming events, on meetings, on when you guys are voting on things, and maybe you guys are changing rules and regulations? And if they do, hey, do you mind if I see that? Do you guys offer opportunities for people to advertise into that? I would love to possibly pay for an ad in this publication. Guys, golden coin. You went and did market research. Now you are specifically becoming an advertisement that is now not an overhead. You're literally what? You're putting in your advertisement. You're going to create a nice little coupon or a nice little call to action, and it's going to go to every home in the neighborhood. Guys, I did that when I first started in business. That's how I became the paper boy's paper boy, right? I would advertise instead of throwing it on the sidewalk. I would have it inside the paper I was throwing on the sidewalk. So I was hitting you twice. You got to get very specific. You got to get targeted and understand this. For small business owners and entrepreneurs, this stuff is not going to fall on deaf ears anymore because it's trendy, it's old school, and people love that stuff. Okay? Number 3, what will understanding the international marketplace really do for you? Hey, it's going to allow you to understand research guide for exports, country marketplaces, and a place you want to go for that is buyusa.gov. Buyusa.gov. You know, I was working with a Fortune 500 company that has its only lighting division in a rural community. And they could not ship, okay, based on international trade regulations with Mexico and Canada because it's border crossing. They could not ship anything that did not have a Made in USA tag. Okay? So when they were buying apparel items from a particular small business, it was becoming a nightmare for this small business because they were trying to find these shirts, and then they were trying to process the order, and it wouldn't get through customs. It became a nightmare. Well, you had to get that targeted. You had to understand the market research. You had to understand the guide for exports. You had to understand the rules and the regulations. So basic market research, guys, is you just hit these 3 little areas, and I can assure you that it's going to help you truly understand how to scale. Okay, how to truly create a scalable process. But now I want to shift gears a little bit. So guys, if you're appreciating this information tonight, if you're finding some value here, if you walked into this scope, maybe a little unsure about the topic, man, you're walking out going, I'm locked in now. The business development architect is laying the blueprint out and is really delivering on the goods that I know he wants to deliver every single time. My name is Matt Crane I am Matt Crane across the board on all social media channels. And like I've said it before, I am your business development architect for the better part of 10 years. I have helped businesses, Fortune 500 companies, small business owners, and entrepreneurs create the foundation they need by not looking through binoculars, but by bringing the laser-sighted scope to the table and helping them create that foundation to support the great life and the business that they've always wanted. So I want to switch gears a little bit. Now let's get some real practicality behind us, right? Guys, if you really want to make a dent in your marketplace, you're going to hear all these different sales tips. You're going to hear all these fancy sales pitches and tactics and closes and all these things. But if you really want to make a dent in your marketplace, if you really want to start creating a differential in your marketplace, start getting old school. You see, I'm a new school approach with old school tactics. I know how to leverage social media, but I'll promise you one thing. There's not anyone in the game that's willing to get in front of anyone more than me. Focused, laser locked in on getting down to your core, your infrastructure. You see, for many small business owners and entrepreneurs, when you start looking for mentors, when you start looking for coaches, when you start looking for free tips, you're going to get a lot of free stuff in return, right? But what you really want to find is someone that's dedicated to your infrastructure, who's more concerned with how you're built than what you're building. Woo! Come on with me, guys. More concerned with how you're built than what you're building. Because let me explain something to you. If I'm not able to see what I'm building in by knowing what I'm building on, how in the world are we ever really getting down to the core of expanding your business, scaling your business? I'm more concerned on what I'm building in versus what you're building on. See, I want to help you guys get down to the meat of everything that you are, the core of your fiber, because I'm looking at your life and your business through that scope, right? So guys, you really want to create a dent, get old school, right? I'm working, my man, Mr. Graham, he's got one of the hottest barbecue joints right now in the Southeast. And guys, the past 2 days, we've had some power talks. We've had some power conversations. I started to expand his mind because now he knows it's time to get old school. We're going to start making samples. We're going to start doing the old school walk the square, handing out samples. You remember those old school toothpicks in the grocery store? That even if you was hungry or not, man, they came up to you with a toothpick, you was knocking 3 or 4 of them out. That's an old school tactic. But see, we get lulled in with all this social media stuff. And guys, don't get me wrong. The social media stuff has expanded the game. It's given me an opportunity to create 3 companies. But what it has also taught me is that I can kick it new school, but boy, I better stay true to the heart and keep that old school grit, that old school grind, keep that old school mentality. Because what I know is a differential for Matt Crane is there's a lot of people that's more fancy on social media. There's a lot of people that can create better graphics than me. There's a lot of people that can type faster than me, that have a lot better screen presence than me, that look better on camera, that got better features, they got fancier stuff, but put me in a room with them and let's go to town, baby. Because I promise you, when I look through that, and when I look through them with that scope, they don't want no part of me. because I'm digging into the core. I know them at a level they've never seen. And guys, it's old school, right? Think about your grandpa and your grandma. Man, they was old school because they saw through your soul. So when they spoke, you stood up to attention because they got your attention. You want to really make a dent in your business? You really want to make a dent in where you're going? You really want the blueprint from the business development architect that there's nobody in the game better at what I do than me? Then let's get old school for a little bit. I am so concerned with what I'm building in with you than I'll ever be concerned on what you're building to. Because if I get down to that core and I'm helping you build within, dog, we're live on a podcast right now and I'm just kicking it. I'm kicking it hard right now for you guys on the business development blueprint. Mr. Relentless in here. This is like one of my old school periscopes, ain't it? Guys, girls, every now and then it's okay to be fancy. It's great. Hey, I got the green screen behind me. I feel like I'm Hollywood. But at my core level is the old school way of knowing that if I am truly creating a relationship with you, if I'm truly telling you that I believe in you the way that I tell you I believe in you, then every conversation we have, I'll walk away knowing more about who you are because I helped you create something that you wanted to create. So I really enjoy doing these types of series. So guys, once again, if you're pumped up, if you've gotten some information, if you've walked away with value from tonight's episode of Understanding Your Market, the business development for small business, biz dev for small business. If you've walked away with some great information, I just want you to type a 1 in the chat box. For those of you that are just coming into the scope, for those of you that are going to come back and watch us on the replay, on the web, on Apple TV, I want to say thank you. And I want to say you've been live with Matt Crane at I Am Matt Crane across the board on all social media channels. I am your business development architect. For more than 10 years, I have worked with Fortune 500 companies, corporations, regional businesses, small businesses, and entrepreneurs by helping them see their vision through a scope, creating a foundation so strong that when I walk away, they are able to build and sustain the business and life of great they've always wanted. You see, when you recognize that your current situation is not your defining moment, when your current situation is not your defining moment, when you become so aware of that, you'll plant your flag flat in the ground and you'll be able to push through the other side. Flight 7 TV, you can email me, IamMattCrane@gmail.com. Ask me those questions. I'll get those things turned around to you. I want to be very appreciative of everyone's time here on the scope. So, and also the podcast. So guys, thank you so very much for being here tonight. You've been live with Matt Crane at I Am Matt Crane on the live stream Biz Dev for Small Business series on Periscope, as well as the Business Development Blueprint, Biz Dev Blueprint with your host, Matt Crane. So guys, I want to say this. Thank you all so very much for another phenomenal, engaging Periscope. You know, here's one thing I also want to say in closing. This is a little caveat, guys. So, you know, the podcast is over, and we'll probably edit out some of this in some of the training. But here's a little caveat for you guys. When you're getting very targeted, right? I talked to Trisha Stahl about this today. When you're starting to get very targeted about scaling your business, developing your business, when you're starting to identify your true target market, I want you to understand one thing's going to happen. Your audience is going to start to shrink. So when you're periscoping, when you're wanting to create these live stream moments, understand the large numbers are great. They're impressive. They help develop credibility. You want those things. But when you start developing your business, when you start getting very targeted and you start taking the coaching and the training, especially that in my 6-week accelerator program, right? Your audience will shrink. It's going to shrink because you're going to get very targeted to people that you're driving a specific message to. That now when those people start coming back and coming back and coming back, it's either because you're bringing immense value to them, or it's because now you need to start creating moments of ask. Right? Now you're going to start exactly. Flight 7 TV, I could not have said it better myself, right? You're going to shrink in numbers, but that quality is going to be so strong. That's a perfect point. Thank you for adding that in here. Perfect point. So moments of ask. So Tricia, do you feel as if this live stream has been very valuable to you today? If you have, if you don't mind, type 1 in the chat box for me. Great. You know what? I am so thankful that you value enough of this information that you feel as if engaging me on a live stream platform is very important. You've got my attention. Would it be okay for us to create an offline opportunity to speak more about your business and your value and how you feel that this particular live stream you came on tonight brings value to you? What's going on, Ferrari? How you doing? Would that be something that we could do today? Awesome. So Tricia, if you don't mind, if you'll just put your email address in the screen for me so I can actually screenshot that, I'm going to send you an email directly at the end of this Periscope, so then that way we can exchange information. And I want to be able to set up 2 things, either a live stream video for us to have a face-to-face, right? Or I'd love to be able to make a phone call to you. So if you just put that email address up for me, boom, awesome. I've got that screenshotted, and I want to say thank you, Tricia. I really appreciate you believing enough in this material tonight to let's create an offline. God, that was a moment of ask, guys. That was a real-time transition there. You got specific, you got targeted, right? But what happened on a live stream? Now you just created credibility with your close. See, a lot of people won't go that extra step because they're afraid they might get exposed. But if you're coming at a place of true ethics, like my man Grant Cardone says, if you're being highly ethical and you're confident in your knowledge, and when you tell people you're an expert, you can back it up with activity, right? Then it's going to be easier for you to create those moments of ask. But you have to bring value first. You see, I don't know how many Periscopes I go in to learn and train from, and boy, people are just creating titles that they think will drive traffic, and then when you get to those people, they don't have a clue what they're talking about. And then 2, the whole time they're trying to get you to buy something. It's like, man, if I wanted an infomercial, there's an entire channel dedicated to it on my satellite. Right? Market research. Right? My market research is, guys, this. I may not have the 700 or 800 viewers per live stream, but I have one of the most engaged live streams on Periscope. I've got data to prove it. That's why they trended me 4 different times in 2 days, because I had so much engagement. That is what I find powerful. That is when you know you're dealing with somebody that is getting to the core, that's forcing and invoking that emotion to the point where you guys have to start creating conversations. You leave people asking questions. You know, my man Flight 7 TV, he came in, he's got questions. We're going to create a moment to talk offline, but then he brought so much value, right? That's what I love about these platforms. So, guys, really quick, how many of you really feel that this series this week has been very beneficial to you so far? How many of you have come in and, man, you're starting to get a lot more clear with where you need to start either identifying some areas of weakness in your business, right? Or areas that because we've been able to target them, you're starting to get a lot stronger in those areas. I also want to give a huge shout out to my girl Tamira Corporal, to my girl Leilani Moore, Tricia Stahl, to my girl Nia, Malika Dixon. Guys, these guys, what's going on, man? How you doing? Talent Tribe's in the house. Natasha, great to see you. Hey, Abby Graham's, first time I've seen her comment on here. That's my girl right there, right? Be looking for her. She's launching a new business too. But those 4 ladies I just announced, man, live streaming. I'm watching them. I'm proud of them, right? They're taking advantage of it. They're making decisions. And I love that. I love that, guys. So, you know, I'll tell you what, before we close down tonight, I will take a few questions. If you have my man Jay, what's going on, Jay? Good to see you, buddy. Loyal as they come. So, hey, I would like to answer a few questions. So, hey, no problem, Leilani. No problem at all. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining the Periscope. I hope your voice gets better. So I will take a few minutes to answer some questions if anyone has any. Well, all right, guys. I really appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you again. Once again, my name is Matt Crane at I Am Matt Crane across the board on all social media. What motivates me, you know, greatness in you, what motivates me more than anything is I know where I've came from. And I'm motivated to never go back there. So I've got layers of extra things now that motivate me. But, man, I know where I came from. And I know how hard it took me to get out of that. So I'm always motivated to never get back to that point. So, absolutely. Great to see you, man. Great to see you, buddy. Enjoyed your Periscopes. Enjoy the passion, man. You got so much passion in your voice. I love that kind of stuff. I love when people come from places of realness. So, hey, one other thing I wanted to mention, guys. I apologize that I have not mentioned this before, but I've had so many requests for notes or outlines for the information on these Periscope live streams, you know, some of the training that we've done, that I've had to go in and create an inner circle or a private Facebook group. You see, this content is something that I spend a lot of time creating and putting a lot of effort into. And so my only ask for you guys is that if it's something that you truly want to have available to you is, hey, just join my inner circle, right? It's in the Periscope bio, the link in the bio. Just simply click on that link and it's going to bring you to that inner circle page on Facebook. Simply ask to join. And then I will open up those vaults of the complimentary resources, training. There's going to be videos we're going to add. And guys, I got an awesome announcement in that as well. I'm going to start asking for you guys that are a part of my inner circle to start dropping some of your content, some of your outlines in there as well, because I want to create an opportunity for us all to learn from one another, right? I enjoy building the car and having it available, but I would love for you guys to add the seats, you know, some of those extra features, some sunroof, maybe, you know, maybe some speakers so we can bump as we're driving down the Success Highway, right? And Jay, yes, right? Industry turbulence. I figured you would love that, my man. Well, it's been a pleasure serving you guys tonight. I want to say thank you again to everybody that always shows up, always shows up. Thank you for your support. And guys, at the end of the day, curb feelers, that's awesome. At the end of the day, no matter where you currently are, no matter whether you're rich, poor, poorer than poor, no matter what you look like, no matter what you believe in, your current situation is not your defining moment. Plant that flag firmly in the ground and push through to the other side, because there's greatness awaiting you. There's so much great waiting for you to take. And the minute you feel uncomfortable, the minute you start feeling that you're moving out of your comfort zone and things get a little crazy, that stomach starts getting those butterflies, you get some cold chills, there's a breakthrough happening. And I want you to experience your breakthrough. Once again, my name is Matt Crane at I Am Matt Crane across the board on all social media channels. Your business development architect, helping you create the blueprint and the foundation of success by shoring up your footing so you then can support and run with all the business and success that life will bring your way. I don't look through your business with binoculars because you didn't create it that way. I bring a scope to the table, and I am a new school approach with those old school tactics. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.